and welcome to our May 17th version of Virtual Sunday School. And we hope that everyone is doing well, and I'm really glad you joined me today. So today I am standing in front of one of my favorite things in my home. And if you look closely, you'll probably figure out pretty quickly that it is a bookshelf. And today we're going to be talking about gratitude, the things that we're grateful for, the things that we're thankful for, and about showing gratitude for all that we have and showing the people around us how grateful we are for them. So I want to just focus in a little bit on my bookshelf because there are many things on my bookshelf, including my books, that remind me of how fortunate I am in my life. There are treasures here that remind me of what I am very grateful for and how important it is to recognize that we are all so fortunate and we have so much to be thankful for, and how important it is to let people know in our lives that we are thankful for them. So let's just take a little closer look at my bookshelf. So as I said, there are many, many treasures on my bookshelf. And I'm going to just show you a few of them. First of all, there are many books. And there are some that are ones that I've read and some that I would like to read and I have not yet read. And a lot of them were given to me by very special people in my life. So if I show you just a few of them, I think you're going to understand why this shelf is so important to me and why it reminds me to be grateful. So this is probably one of the oldest books that I have, and it's called A Child's Prayer Book. And it is one that you can see I've had since I was a little girl because I actually colored on it, which you're not supposed to do for books, but I was pretty small when I got it, maybe about 3 or 4, and actually I was even younger than that. It says, "For Lori on her first birthday from Daddy and Mommy." And this is one of, like I said, my oldest books I own, and it means so much to me because it's filled with beautiful prayers that my mom and dad said with me when I was little, and all the pictures in it I remember looking at when I was just a small child. And it reminds me of the love that my parents gave me right from the day I was born. And I am so grateful for that love. So that's one of the books on my bookshelf. I've also have many other books that were given to me by people. This one, Row, Row, Row Your Boat, that was given to me by my friend Laura Beth. And it's a beautiful book. And there are so many books that I have learned from about life and about how people live and all the things that we can be grateful for in our lives. And if you look a little bit over here in this corner, you'll see a picture that sits on this bookshelf. And it's a picture of my dad and of our 3 kids, Rachel, Michael, and Jack, when they were very small. Jack had just been born. He was maybe about 8 months old there. And I love this picture because it reminds me, first of all, of the gratitude I feel for my family, all the people in my family, being a mom. And right now, it reminds me of the love, again, that I have for so many family and friends that I can't see, like my dad and my mom. And I'm grateful for the fact that we can still talk over FaceTime and still be very close, even though we're far apart. So that's another thing on my shelf. And this little box here is also full of pictures that I treasure. And right beside it, you might notice some little sticks and stones, which you might think is an odd thing to have on my bookshelf. But these stones and these sticks are called driftwood, actually. And driftwood is something that you find in the water, maybe on a beach or by a lake. And the stones also came from a lake. Since I was a young girl, I've always loved stones, and I've always loved driftwood, something about it made me always feel very happy inside. And so I would collect them wherever I would go from a young age. And again, I guess they remind me of how grateful I am that we live on a beautiful planet, planet Earth, and that the simplest things in life can give us joy. And so I keep those as a reminder of that. I used to love to spend hours collecting rocks and how important it is to be grateful for those small things in life. If you look up on my bookshelf a little bit further, you can see again a collection of shells and stones. And again, I love shells because again, they remind me of the beauty of the earth and make me feel very grateful. And next to those shells, you will see what's called a sand dollar. And this sand dollar was given to me by my Oma, which is my mom's mom. And she's someone that was a very important influence in my life. And I remember her teaching me about the sand dollar. And if you look very closely, there's so much to be grateful for in just this beautiful shell itself. And very closely you could see that on the front of the sand dollar it looks like a flower, and people say that it reminds us of the Easter lily and of Easter, and what a beautiful celebration of hope Easter is for us. And in the middle of the sand dollar, if you look closely, you will see what looks like a star, and people often talk about that as the Star of David or the Star of Bethlehem that the wise men followed to find baby Jesus. And on the back of the sand dollar, again, there's a pattern that looks a lot like a poinsettia. And it reminds us again of Christmas time, and all the intricacies there are pretty amazing. And then inside of the sand dollar, if you shake it, you might be able to hear that there's something rattling around. And when you break a sand dollar open, what you will find are little doves. And again, they're so delicate, and they remind us to be grateful for small things. And they remind us of the doves that we hear about in the Bible, and that they always brought hope with them. And that's something that we can always be grateful for, that in times when we might be feeling sad or worried, that there's always something to hope for, which is another part of being grateful for what we have. And then if you go up further on my shelf, you will see a little Holly Hobby figurine, which the kids gave me when they were small. I loved Holly Hobby as a child, and they picked that out for me one year for Mother's Day. And beside it, you'll see a beautiful plaque that was made by someone that goes to our church, Laura Thompson, and on it it says, "Fill your page with the breathings of your heart." And I love that phrase that she gave to me, because to me that means that everything that we do in our lives, fill up our page with all that's really important, and that is following our heart and the love that we have in our heart and the gratitude for everything that we have. And finally, I'll show you, this is on my shelf, and you may think, what a strange thing to have on my shelf. This is a screwdriver, but it's not a real screwdriver. It's a toy screwdriver, and it was the one that I used in Mamma Mia, which is a play I was in recently, and I have wonderful memories, and I'm very grateful that I had that opportunity. And last but not least, there's a little lamb here on the shelf, and that was given to me by my husband Phil, who you know, one Christmas, and he gave it to me with a book called Joshua, the Crippled Lamb. And it's about a little lamb that can't walk like everybody else, but even though he has trouble, he can still do something good in his life. And he passed on love and warmth to baby Jesus when baby Jesus was born. And that reminds me to be grateful that even in hard times, or even when we think we can't do something, we always find a way if we lead with love. So that's just a little bit that's on my shelf. There are many more treasures that I'm grateful for, but I wanted to talk about the importance of being grateful because it's something that we can often forget about in our lives. Being grateful is really one of the best secrets to happiness in our life because when we are grateful or thankful for all the beautiful things that have come our way and the love that we have been given by those around us, it's pretty hard to feel sad and discouraged. And when we feel grateful and are filled with gratitude, the natural thing is we want to pass that on to others and show others how grateful we are for them, for all that they do for us, and for being in our lives. So being thankful or being grateful is really a way of showing love. And there are many ways that we can show the people around us that we are grateful. And what it does is it changes them because they feel loved when we say thank you or I appreciate you. And it changes our own hearts inside because we become attuned to love. We become mindful of the breathing of our heart, like that plaque said, and that we are given that gift to care for others in our lives and to show them how much we love them and how grateful we are for them. So I'm going to share a story with you from the Bible about what it means to be grateful and how important it is to say thank you and to show others around us that we are grateful because it changes our hearts. Saying thank you to God. Jesus was walking all the way to the city of Jerusalem. It was a long walk from his home in Nazareth. It took several days. As Jesus was walking, a group of 10 people came to him. These people had leprosy. Leprosy is a skin disease. In Jesus' day, people were very afraid of leprosy. They thought that they could get the disease as well if they knew somebody or touched somebody with it. This was not true, but they still were afraid. Well, the 10 people with leprosy came to Jesus and said, "Please help us. We are very sick. Can you help us be better? Please, Jesus." Jesus felt very sad for them. "Yes, I can help you," he said. "Go to the temple and show yourself to the priest there." So the 10 people went as fast as they could to do what Jesus had told them. But one of those people stopped and came back to Jesus. "Thank you so much, Jesus," he said. "Thank you for making me well." "There were 10 people who had leprosy who asked me for help," Jesus said to this person. "Where are the others? Don't they also want to say thank you to God?" "I don't know where they are," said the man. "Well, you are here to thank God," said Jesus. "I can tell that you are someone who tries to live in God's way. Go back to your family and friends. Remind them to also say thank you and to live from the heart." The end. So I'd like to encourage you this week to find opportunities to remind yourself of why you have so much to be thankful for and so much to be grateful for, whether it's treasures like the ones I have on my bookshelf that you treasure and are grateful for, or whether it's the people in your lives that give you love and help and are fun to be with. And I want you to find opportunities to think of those things and then to say thank you to those around you and to say thank you to God for all that you have, all the beautiful things that come your way. And ways that we can say thank you are simply in a prayer. Every day when we wake up, we can thank God for all that we have in our lives. Or maybe at the end of the day, we can thank God for all the experiences we had, for the people that we love. And another way to show our thanks and appreciation or gratitude is by thanking others for being there for us. And there's many ways we can do that. We could send a thank you card. We could make something for someone. We can give someone a big hug and say, "I love you." Another way that we can show gratitude is by doing something for someone else. And, you might want to share something with somebody or do something for them that would make them happy or make someone laugh. There's so many ways we can show our gratitude. And this week, our special guests on the show are the Yates family that goes to our church. And they're going to talk about some of the things that they're grateful for and ways that they show gratitude to others. And one of those ways is something they do every day at a certain time. And I won't tell you what it is. You can listen to them as they share. But there are many other ideas they have for how we can show our thanks to others. And then they're going to show us what goes on at their house, just like we've been doing the last few weeks. And hopefully you'll enjoy all that they have to share today. So I invite you to watch the Yates family now and learn a little bit about their house and about the things that they're grateful for.
Hi, I'm Heather Yates, and you probably know my kids Malcolm and Jane, and we've been asked to share a little bit about what's going on here at the Yates household since we've all been home just at the beginning of March break. We hope you enjoy. One of the activities that Jane and I participate in every week is Girl Guides. And this year, our guide unit received their order of cookies, but within a week or two, we were not able to actually sell any cookies, so we could not hold any of our cookie blitzes. We had many community members who decided to purchase a case of cookies, and then our unit then in turn donated those cookies to essential service people and other services around the city. So we've donated items to the food bank, to Coleman Care Center, to the Barrie Police, to the local VON PSWs, and many other places. And Jane and Malcolm and I had an opportunity to deliver those cases in a safe manner, doing contactless drop-offs. We also do lots of indoor activities, including this game that Jane created for a guide activity. This is called Dinosaur Asteroids, including our bowling pins and our asteroids, which are bowling balls. She created it for Malcolm. We do lots of school activities. So Malcolm's got lots of patterns that he needs to do. He goes out exploring and finding checklists. Quite often, other family members go with him on his scavenger hunts. They also spend some time on the computers, and they do a lot of STEAM activities for their class.
I'm doing my work and I'm watching CNN 10. It is about news around the world. After I'm done watching it, I get to tell my teacher one part of it that I like or a part that he suggests I have to talk about.
I've been doing um, some laundry dries today and yesterday, so I'm gonna do laundry dries, some laundry dries every day.
And what did you learn to draw today?
A T-Rex.
Mother Day 2020 was a little different this year than it has been in the past. Because we couldn't be with our grandparents or my parents or my husband's parents, we had to do it a little creative. We sent some meals and we sent flowers and we got together on Zoom chats.
Mother's Day.
We participated in a global-wide campfire with the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Share your light.
That is close.
We make noise every night at 7 o'clock because
Celebrate the people that no, we thank the
people that are working, the essential workers.
yeah.
Yeah, and how do we make our noise?
With wooden spoon and pans.
What else do we have sometimes?
Boom whackers.
Our boom whackers.
And da 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 da. Oh.
We are also joined by our neighbors who are down the street. We see them every evening. And we come and make noise every evening, and sometimes we have some cars that honk as they go by.
So I'd like to say thank you so much to the Yates family, to Heather and Jane and Malcolm, for showing us what goes on at their house, and also for including the ways that they show their gratitude to others and the ways that they say thank you by helping with the Girl Guide cookie drive and sending those cookies on to places that have been on the front lines in our community, helping others, and also how they bang those pots and pans every night at 7 o'clock to say thank you to everyone who is out there working hard to help those who are in need at this time, and some of the other ways that they showed what they were grateful for in their lives. So thanks again to the Yates family. So this week I challenge you, invite you to find ways that you can say thank you for all that you have. Thank you for the blessings in your life, and be grateful for all the things that are in your life. Maybe you can talk about those things together with your family, all that you're thankful for. There's a game you can play where you go through the alphabet, and with each letter you can name the things you're grateful for. And then find a way to say thank you to somebody, whether it's make them a card or give them a hug and tell them you love them and you're grateful for them. There's so many ways we can be grateful. So remember that it's one of the most important things that we can do in life is to say thank you for our lives. And just like in the story we read today, it changes our heart and changes all that we do and the things that we notice in our lives, and it gives us a happiness that is there all the time. So have a wonderful week, everybody, and don't forget to say thank you and to be grateful for all that you have. Bye-bye.